guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have
Dan. I'm from the Freedom Farm.
Awesome. And we have his 1990 W250, and it's currently identifying as a W350 with an intercooled engine. So
it's got lots of extra springs under it. So
that's
might
right.
as well be a 350.
So if you wouldn't mind kind of just telling us the basics.
All right, so kind of a bug. Lots of people call them bug out vehicles. I call it a bug back home vehicle. My biggest concern is to get this truck, if bad things happen in the world, is to get this truck from wherever I'm at in the United States back home to Texas. So the truck's got 120-gallon fuel tank. Every tool a guy could basically need, from 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch drive, and a 3/4 drive, up to 2 inches in sockets. Basically everything a guy needs to work on a truck. These things are really nice set up. We've got air. This thing was not perfectly clean and set up for a video, but we, you know, we're winging it here.
Coming by for parts, got to get a video.
So got a generator that I can run AC. I have diesel heat, like lots of guys are running in campers and things like that now. So the diesel heater comes out here.
And a microwave.
So
look at that, man.
We've got 3,000 watt power inverter. Keep a cooler, of course. Pretty cheap Chinese refrigerator that's worked for more than a year now.
Cool.
Can't say bad things about it.
No.
Man. It works great. So I'm gonna demonstrate the camper. So real simple. It's an Alu-Cab camper, shipped out of South Africa. That simple.
Look at that thing, guys.
And so I'll demonstrate how to get in it. So there's an awning on the back that comes out, but you have to like put some poles in it to make it nice.
Okay.
And then this is where your wide angles probably be nice. So
there we go.
You can push this up and you can climb up into the bed this way, or you can just push the whole bed up and then you have all the space inside. Oh,
that's sweet, man. So tell everybody kind of what you do.
I transport semis, mostly brand new Peterbilts out of the factory for Denton. Built a custom little trailer, and this truck rides on the back of the semi.
Awesome.
So
basically this is on the convoy.
It's out on the road all the time. People have seen it all over the United States. This is the first video that's ever been done on this truck. Over 1 million miles on it. Not everything's original anymore. Cab rusted to pieces.
Got some propane.
Runs a generator.
About
700,000 on the original
12 valve
non-intercooled motor.
Wow.
The heat had shrank the manifold so bad that all the bolts were breaking off. Center were holding it on. So I had like basically no boost. It was blowing smoke under the hood. It had the original automatic 727 torque flight in it.
3-speed with the 307s.
I had 700,000 miles on the 727.
How many times was the tranny rebuilt?
Rebuilt one time.
All right.
Probably at about midpoint on its life, I guess. It wasn't trashed when I rebuilt it. I just wanted it to last.
All right, got the 4-inch diamond eye, it looks like.
Yep,
very nice.
That's exactly what it is. It's a diamond eye, and then it was just some random tip the guy had, and I said, hey, what do you cost to throw that on? He didn't charge me nothing, just welded a tip on.
What a guy. You have in these boxes
just
here?
My junk catch-all box over here, but it's
okay.
Another.
Yeah, tools, extension cords, bags, all kinds of stuff.
Extra parts and pieces.
Okay.
So I keep spare fluids and stuff. I need to get a new latch for this side. So
is this like a fuel? Like if you're running low on the main tank,
exactly.
Boom.
I open this up and I have a pump in the inside the other toolbox, and you just reach in there and push a button, and I listen for it to gurgle when the tank is full. I just turn it off and then turn this back off.
Okay.
Forget to turn this off, the toolbox gets filled with fuel. Yeah, we just he hacked it off with a torch. I just kind of just bolted them on so they were usable.
Rugged. There we go.
They're so strong, you can put the corner of the lift underneath the box and lift the truck. So it's Jungle's front ring hanger, and then you can find him on Ram Charger Central.
Okay.
You have to email him. He's kind of hard to get a hold of, but man, he makes some good stuff. Like big, heavier duty bushings that go in the frame. You can probably see
this right here.
Yeah, he has a kit that goes over the original, and then it drills out, and you put a much bigger bushing in the suspension. These are rear springs off of a Chevy. I think they're 54 inches.
For your front springs, for your front axle.
And most people will probably never see what you're real close to, that square drive shaft. I made the square drive shaft. So we got a pretty good view from the side with the seat missing. I was transporting the new trucks and I was carrying a bottle of Def around with me and it spilled on the floor and bleached the carpet. I didn't find that till today.
What do we got going on in here, man?
So this is ORD's twin stick kit for the 205. And then I have a stock 5-speed get rag.
Sweet.
And then I have ORD's Magnum box kit.
Okay.
Which then, so I have basically 2 transfer cases. Because the problem with the 205 is the 205 has basically 2-to-1 gearing. It's 1.96 to 1, you know. So they're terrible gear ratio for the 205. They're strong, but you don't have very low gearing. Once you put the doubler in there, now it has 5.3 to 1 when you're in what I call low. But it has such a big input shaft. This one is like 2.7 gearing, I think. Oh. And then this is 2-to-1. You can run this one in low and then run that one in low. But you can also run this one high and run that one in low. Because the low in there is better than the low in this one. And the input shaft is so big and strong, you can put a high range into it and it doesn't hurt it.
What's your opinion on the 727 with 307 gears? And I know you told me that you went from 307 to 354s, and then you went from the 727 to the 5-speed get drag. What's your kind of opinion on that?
In some ways on the highway, I miss the automatic.
Just cruising?
Yes, because you just step on the gas and go.
Right.
This right now, still with this turbo, with these injectors, with this turbo, with this timing that I have in it, it's pretty laggy. It's got an 18.5 cm turbo. Hot side on the turbo with an H1C, so it's basically a stock size turbo. And it just, if it would spool faster, it probably wouldn't be so bad, which is a plan. That's an improvement for the future.
But it's also, you have a lot of modifications, so you kind of have to find the right recipe for it.
Jive together.
Correct.
Gear ratio, the tire size, the gearing in the transmission, the horsepower under the hood, the turbo doing what it's supposed to do at the right time.
So did you go from 700,000 miles, and that's when you're like, all right, I need to throw a new, engine in this. I need to just kind of revamp the entire truck? Or how did you kind of, did some of these ideas evolve? They've
evolved all the time, but
you said you owned it from 2005, right?
Around about 2003 to 2005, somewhere in there. I've had it at least 20 years, and yeah, like you can see, that door panel needs to go away. I've got one. It's a matter of having time to put it on. So it's pretty ugly. So what was the catalyst of actually changing from automatic to manual and changing the gear ratio? Because I went from a 307 to the 354s. The cab rusted to pieces. Yep. This is something anybody with a first gen should know. Actually, I didn't show y'all something I did. I cut the inside of my roof out, and I'm not done with it because I want to glue this stuff to the ceiling and get these things out of here. But it's just temporary, make it work. Yeah. So I cut the inside of the roof out because what happens is the floor gets wet, and then it condensates. The moisture condensates inside your roof. And then the water's on the roof inside, and it runs against the front of your windshield. And once it's condensated along the front of the windshield, the water sits in there, and there's no rust prevention on the inside of this metal. Right. It's not galvanized, whatever. So when you get that raw metal in there, the rust starts immediately. Yep. And then now you got rust along that drip rail. Yep. First gen drip rail. I have pictures of me on my first truck where I could stick my hand through the roof from the outside. I had duct tape covering the holes. So when that cab got so bad, a rust-free cab from a guy, and swapped the cab, bought a whole nother truck, got the intercooled motor, and I just swapped in the 5-speed, the cab, the whole bit, all in one time. Cool. I already had some modifications, so I used my frame, I used his motor. So his motor, his trans, it's just, so I had the thing all the way down to the frame, except for the rear suspension, because it's the only thing that's never been off. Cool. So, and I'm still doing it. I will continue to keep putting miles on it like that. We'll put some pictures in pause the video and put some pictures in here of this truck that's like on the semi with you hauling some cars, and then everybody will kind of get, what you do with this truck. So
coming around. He just picked up a grill from me today. He's gonna paint it camo just to kind of blend in with the truck. And then, yeah, this is it, man. This is sweet. It's a sweet bug out vehicle. It's pretty much the next contestant for the Doomsday Prepper show.
Yeah, if they were still doing it, maybe they are, maybe they aren't.
Hey, if they are, they need to feature this truck because I want to see a first gen on that show, man.
Preppers decided to pick it up. Like I say, we might talk to them about the farm, but I don't think I'd tell them where the farm's located.
Such as most Doomsday Preppers. So
you're not real smart if you tell everybody where your stuff's at. So there might be some hidden tricks in this truck, but I'm not going to tell where they are.
What makes this first gen the ultimate Doomsday Prepper vehicle?
That it literally doesn't require a wire to run. Not one. I mean, me. So make sure it doesn't roll away.
Starts right up. There's the keys.
So locked up,
right,
running. I have mechanical keel on it. I disabled the original solenoid system.
Yep.
I do have a fast system on it, so
that's what the noise
one
is. Kind of
downside that I think it's a good and bad. I really like the fast system as far as it's going to provide good clean fuel because I killed 4 injection pumps in 2 months.
Wow.
And the reason why was because this tank had a hole in the top of it that I didn't know about.
Huh.
And every time it rained, it was trickling water into the tank.
Not good.
I drained like 2 gallons of water out of this tank. Whew. And it was constantly feeding it to my injection pump.
Water in the engine is not a good thing.
Yeah. Filters, when we have water that's emulsified into the fuel, it will only separate approximately 60% of that water out of the fuel. The other 40% is going through your filter straight to your injection pump. So that's how I killed injection pumps. Fast systems, their new water block filters are expensive, and those filters have some material kind of like a diaper's got in it. It will not let water get past it. So Fast says, I haven't experienced it yet, but they say if you get enough water in here, it'll basically stop the motor and blow the fuse. Wow. So water cannot get through. And it was another reason I went with this, I went with their sump system. So the sump is, I just drilled the hole right through the tank. Yep. And hooked it all straight up like that. And that way as I get every drop of fuel I can out of the tank. It was a simple setup to hook up to the fast system. I don't need nothing on for the original. I just removed all the original
sending unit and everything.
Yep, I removed all that stuff.
So you're a big advocate for fast on a first gen?
Believe it or not, yeah.
All right.
Fast system's a whole lot cheaper than injection pumps. Super simple setup. You come off the fast, it's got one line runs right to your injection pump, and it's it. There's no other filters in line. You can, and it already is set up for the pressure temp. I don't have any gauges in here yet. I've got a tack, I've got a pyrometer, I've got all the gauges. They're sitting at the house right now to be installed on the new motor I'm building.
Is that the engine you got from me?
Yes, the engine I got from you.
Cool.
So, matter of fact, that was a very good motor. You know,
Glad
shout
to
out
hear
to him because, you know, I think some of the time he doesn't necessarily know exactly what he's got. He's got really, really good stuff, and he sells it cheap because it's a used truck.
That's right.
I mean, you might be getting a diamond in the rough.
I had some pretty good luck selling a lot of engines to guys that are, you know, wanting to do a custom build or something like that.
I built all of the lower stuff. Like if you look up Alu-Cab, this is not just going to bolt on. You have this was made for either a full-size Toyota Tundra or full-size Dodge truck, and then I custom built the flatbed, the toolboxes.
So basically this truck rides with you when you're hauling all these new semis, and then when it's loaded up on the semi and you're pulling it, then like when it stops for the night, you're basically sleeping up there in the tent, and then when you go home, you just take this truck.
My typical week is to drive all the way out to South Carolina, Georgia, sometimes Virginia, or even sometimes further, and I'll go all the way out there with a set of brand new trucks, and then I'll just drive this all the way back. So that's how come it gets so many miles on it. This truck has been every major city in America, every state in America, every continental state. You're right. I've never been to Alaska. It is on my list of to-dos.
Hey, this would be perfect, man. Cool. Well, that pretty much wraps it up. Give you a quick little view of inside the driver's seat here. The old first gen, man. I love it. It's awesome. Here's the old setup. So This is the ultimate bug out first gen Cummins. That's awesome, man. Keeping this thing on the road for
Thanks
a million
for helping
more
me
miles.
keep it on the road. You should do a little background of all that back there behind us.
All right, there you go. Here's the old first gen heaven right behind us.
There's a bunch of them out there.
80 first gens here. So, but yeah, appreciate it, man. And we're gonna keep this truck on the road for years to come. So keep her tuned.